Last week was Microsoft Ignite. There was a lot of energy and a lot of exciting news, and we all know the biggest topic of them all, AI. AI is and was the term of the tech world for about a year or so now, making big breaking points into how is the modern work or digital workplace is going to change for Microsoft product users. I am not going to talk about what the actual news was for the Power Platforms. Go ahead and check out Reza's video. Today I'm actually going to talk about what does that mean for us, as in consultants, professionals in this field. What type of skill set are we going to or should ramp up on? If you think you're too late in the game, it is not too late. It is just starting the revolution of now we are actually taking AI seriously. I would say 6 months ago, I had a couple of tickets coming in about Copilot Studio. You know what? I was brushing it off. I didn't want to do it. It was something new. It was half-baked product. Things wasn't working. It was in preview, and I just didn't want to deal with it until they got it all figured out. I mean, do they got it all figured out right now? I don't think so, but now it's starting to get to the point where all of the capabilities and our new features are being pushed to GA. Now it is the time to get into Copilot Studios. I am going to talk about 3 major features that will break the ground for us, will really show us what we should be going towards. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is Plan Designer. What I call it a solution designer, where the user would identify a business problem they're trying to solve, and then it will identify user roles, different tables or columns with dataverse relationships, and then identify the user experience, whether you can pick from a Canvas app or a model-driven app, or maybe Power Pages if it is external. It would also include Power Automate flows and possibly Power BI. I remember one of my colleagues asked me, how do I architect the solution? How can I take from whatever the client is asking me into a solution and know what are the critical questions to ask, identify user personas, even security roles of each process? And at the time, I really don't know. I came from a UX design background. I was actually using the UX design process. From what I can see so far, it is a very good requirement gathering tool for consultants or even business owners to solve a specific problem. It will speed up the requirement gathering process. It will also create a Canvas or model-driven app for us, which I think it is great, where we could have basic forms to fill out and putting that into our Dataverse tables. Will it replace consultants that are currently doing the requirement gathering work? No, it's not. The business owners don't always understand the security, the management perspective, the scalability of what is needed. Because I haven't gotten the chance to test it yet, I don't know if it will do well with existing data. Not a lot of clients are working with zero data to start with. I'm not sure how well it will work with data outside of the Microsoft one, but it will definitely be a tool that we want to keep in handy when we're talking about requirements gathering. The next thing I want to talk about is agents. Agents in Power Apps, agents in model-driven apps, agents in the Copilot view, where we're deploying agents to teams, we're deploying agents to pretty much anywhere that we can deploy agents to. The next thing I'm going to talk about is autonomous agents in Copilot Studios. I think it is a fantastic thing when something happens, it triggers the agents to message the user to do something. So when a SharePoint item get added, it will send a Teams message to a specific user, and they can reply back in that agent chat about any more information about it or something like that. I forgot to mention the AI capabilities for this agent. Please check out Lisa's video if you would like to learn more about this. Along with agents, there is an upgrade with GPT-4 and Power Automate, where we can use generative actions to describe what are you looking for, and then it will create an input and output for you, and in a lot of natural language and almost across the Copilot, the whole umbrella of M365. One of the things I love about Copilot is describing something. It's describing what this app is doing, describing what is this workflow is doing. It is creating the documentation process to be easier and faster that way. With agents popping up in every platform that there is, we need to understand how to use Copilot Studios. For consultants who never really use Power Virtual Agents, we need to start learning about Copilot Studios and how can we deploy it, how can we create it. We need to be better at prompting This is not something that we can just scrape by knowing the basics. We need to know the advanced capabilities because this is where the world is shifting to. As we're talking right now, agents in SharePoint is going to start rolling out where site owners are starting to create agents. Citizen developers are starting to create agents everywhere they can create. We need the in-depth skill to go above and beyond because I see a new demand where clients are looking for help. How can we customize this? Can we create agents to advance or replace different processes? If you are refusing to move forward with this, you are going to get left behind, unfortunately. The third thing I'm seeing Microsoft is spending money on is Power Platform Admin Center. The Power Platform Admin Center has a new UI or UX, and they are releasing a bunch of new features where it is exclusively for managed environments. It will have an inventory of all of the assets that you have in managed environments. And with that, there is an action center. The action center will provide details of this app or this flow having been run or played in the last 60 days. Maybe you should do something about this. And other recommendations of licensing or security enhancements. With managed environments, you can create environment groups where the groups can be applied to a DLP policy, sharing to specific users or external guests. With the managed environment being pushed, I'm really glad Microsoft decided to update the licensing terms where all of the active users in an environment have a premium license, either the Power App Premium or Power Automate Premium license. They are good to go. They can use the premium features. I think this is going to be huge for my clients who are concerned about citizen developers developing in the default environment, different policies that could apply to environment groupings, inventory management, monitoring apps and flows, and access control. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my predictions or my thoughts on this. Please feel free to let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching.